for Business podcast. Look at this lovely lady that I have tonight. We got Miss Aileen here from Wills and More. I'm so excited to have you.
Excited to be here.
First of all, you're wearing my favorite color.
Am I?
Yellow is, so I'm coined the human sunflower.
Really?
Yeah,
oh my gosh,
sometimes
I
my
channeled
favorite
it.
flower.
I channeled it.
No, take it off. You're going to have to give it up before
Okay, well, you got
leave
something for me to wear home. I'll
Okay,
give it
I
to
got
you.
you.
I'll tell you where I got it. Even better yet.
Right.
Because I just happened on it one day, and I'm like, ooh.
It looks very beautiful.
Thank you.
Very
Then you would have stolen my
vibrant.
shoes if what I was going to wear. So.
Oh, excuse me.
I got
honey.
talked out of those.
Okay. Well, I always love to share with my listeners a story on how we actually met.
Yes.
I met Eileen's beautiful spirit at Brittany's event. Shout out to Miss Life Insurance,
Yes,
Brittany
indeed.
Saunders.
Brittany's a star.
She is so amazing. She's definitely a friend of the show. She's been featured. Her boys have been featured on our show.
Oh my God, my sweeties.
Yes, and she had an amazing event. And that's where I met you, where we were talking about life insurance, wills, the importance, guys, of securing your life, your future. And that's how I met you. And you were always like amazing energy from day one. So I definitely appreciate that. She is a customer. Also, shout out to Be Fit and Focus, your local juice company. So I definitely appreciate your love and support here. So again, it's definitely a pleasure to have you. I'm so glad that we connected and that we met.
Me too.
But let's get right to it. We have to talk about this Wills and More.
Okay.
So I am a customer now,
Yes,
or
you are.
clients, right? I
Client,
like
friend.
to say client,
Friend of the company.
Exactly, a friend of the company. I thank you so much for that, because I've learned so much from Brittany, and even on your end of the service that you actually provide. I'm going to let you definitely tell us more about that. Just a private thing for me, guys. So I had life insurance. I've been a cover of life insurance. But life insurance is just like the first step.
That's right.
It's the first step. It's not just, oh, you got life insurance, you're secure. That's wonderful, but we have to assign what happens. So tell the listeners about what it is that you do and what your portion of it is once you're secure with your life insurance, and how you go about helping people manage their lives and secure their future.
Yeah, absolutely, Amber. It's my pleasure to be here. My name is Eileen Marcial, and I'm the founder and CEO of Wills and More, LLC. I proudly use Legal Shield as my platform to provide affordable wills, living wills, medical power of attorney, financial power of attorney for everyday people. And the idea that life insurance, you need to have life insurance. There should be no GoFundMe pages when someone passes away. There should be none. However, if you don't know better, you can't do better.
Absolutely.
But where I step in is that I found that a lot of people just didn't want to get wills done. They were just like, oh, if I get a will done, I'm going to die. If I get a will done, someone's going to kill me.
Right, that's like such a taboo subject, right? Death. We're going to die. That's one
At
thing
the end
for sure.
of the day, we all are going to die. Even Jesus died, okay?
Yes.
So let's be real about this.
Holla.
He came back, but all of us are not, you're not going to get out of this life alive.
Right.
All right? And so let me tell you a quick story. So I started Wills and More almost 9 years ago.
Wow, amazing.
And up until the pandemic, I had assisted on about 150 wills.
That's amazing.
Wait, then the pandemic hit. Since the pandemic, I've helped on at least 205 wills.
You go, girl.
Right?
That's
so we're
amazing.
closing in on 400 wills.
Great. Oh, so that's 205 in addition
To the 150.
Well, tell us.
Yes,
that's great.
But really, what I figured out, I learned a lot while I'm brushing my teeth. And as I was brushing my teeth the other day, I realized that of those almost 400 wills, only 2 families had to use them so far.
Wow.
So for the folks that are like, oh, if I get my will done, I'm going to die, guess what? If you do it through Wills and More, you have a very strong chance of not dying anytime soon.
You got that Midas touch.
Absolutely. That's why I wore yellow today.
Okay,
So to show off the Midas
all right,
touch
she said
today.
you're going to glow for life. I feel that. I love that.
And the thing also is that we need to leave a legacy for our family and for our children.
Right.
not a mystery.
Mm-hmm.
And as business owners, it's even more important. You've built, Amber the Juice Girl rocks it out.
Thank
and now
you,
here
girl.
you are just bringing everything to the people
Mm-hmm.
about making sure your business is represented,
Mm-hmm.
making sure people know who you are and how to find you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But you have kids and you have your businesses.
Mm-hmm.
You need to make sure that if something happens to you, that your kids reap the benefit, not the
Right.
state of New Jersey.
True. And you definitely don't want a stranger, just like with anything in life. We don't want strangers dictating how things are going to be positioned out. Because that's something that, like even I learned with getting life insurance. Like my oldest, like partly personal, but like my oldest, how I have it set up is that she's very nurturing, she's very caring.
Right.
So she gets the higher percentage of whatever happens right now because I know that my son is significantly younger than her.
Right.
So because he's significantly younger, she's more going to need that as an adult to help allocate her life and his life.
That's right. That's
For
brilliant
now.
thinking.
Right. So that's how I thought about it. And then I'm like, okay, well, also too, I have I have one living parent. My dad is still alive. God bless him. But he's getting older, so I don't want the responsibility of him managing what's happening in my life. But my brother and I are 5 years apart, so he's the person that I want to help allocate that.
Yes.
And he's a trusted person.
Your kids like him.
My kids love their Uncle
That
Alwyn.
helps
Shout
a
out to
lot.
Uncle Alwyn. But he's the person I want to facilitate that. Even though my daughter she's almost 18, she's still not 18 yet. God forbid something happens to me. I definitely want someone who's knowledgeable to handle those things. And I'm gonna be very honest. Up until I'm not gonna say I didn't have an idea on how important a will was, but I really appreciated how genuine you were. How when I tell y'all, I am like, I love to support people, but my life is hectic. Like it literally goes from 0 to 100 real quick. Like, and I appreciate how patient you were and how the service guys, I'm going to tell you from experience, anybody that I have on the show is not just a person like they're just coming on the show. I've had their experience. I've had the experience. I can intelligently speak on the service. And when I tell you, I appreciate your diligence, your follow through. There were so many times I'm like, I know I thought I was going to be available at 6, but I'm not. I need 6:30. Can you talk tomorrow? Eileen is so patient. And just your stress of the importance and letting me know not only was it just a will, the other benefits that come with the service. Can we talk about that and tell our listeners, on top of like what you do and the wills, what other services come with what that you offer?
Absolutely. The reason my company is called Wills and More is because, as I mentioned, I use Legal Shield as my platform to provide these services. So the will has always been part of the services, which I realized people weren't getting done. So you get the will, living will, medical power of attorney, and financial power of attorney. That's the wills. And that's the will package that is for you, your spouse or significant other, your children up to the age of 26. So that's the cornerstone right there. But the and more is the difference maker. What I love about the and more is it protects your family. Too many times we sign contracts. You renting a car, renting an apartment, signing a Airbnb, whatever you're signing on. You want to make sure that the bold print isn't taken away by the fine print. And we could be as smart and as astute as we want to, but I know I didn't go to law school. And my disclaimer to you all right now is that I'm not an attorney and I don't play one on TV. So I'm just giving you guidance, but I'm not giving you legal advice.
Right.
Because I work with attorneys in every state to make sure that that's carried out the way it needs to be to give you the protection. So of the other things that we do in the and more part, so we have the contract review, the document review. I know you drive a lot.
Oh, God.
I drive a lot.
I'm sick of me. Let me tell you something. When I become a millionaire, I'm going to have me a driver.
You know what? I think I would just have one on occasion because I want anybody always with me. So, when I want to go shopping, I want people mean mugging me. So,
I feel
when
you.
I'm out there looking for another yellow dress, I want no stress.
Okay, I got you.
So that's how that works. Or something purple, which is my favorite color. So I'm loving your curtains.
Aww.
But if you get that speeding ticket, our attorneys are going to go to court with you. And everything's in the app. So you take a picture of that ticket, hit submit, attorney will call you and say, we'll meet you in court. Yeah. So like yesterday I was in Long Island, deep in Long Island, Suffolk County, 2 hours away from my house. Right? If I had a speeding ticket on the Long Island Expressway, I could have gone home, sent that ticket over to the law firm. Back in New Jersey, the New York law firm would have gone to court for me.
Awesome.
See, when I go to
Because,
Maryland...
who has the time, right?
No, exactly. Why should I have to go through all this and come all the way back another 2 hours to deal with this? So that's another one of the great features that we offer with the and more part.
Now, in that, though, like, say, for instance, if they did, is, like, on top of what you pay monthly, do you pay any additional fees to the lawyer if you have some type of case?
Well, if you have, like, say, for instance, you have a bankruptcy, you want to get a trust done, if you want to get a contested divorce, there are certain things where the attorneys have to go to court and do hourly work.
Okay.
And if there's hourly work involved, even especially with criminal stuff, there's hourly work involved. And they can't just say that they're going to represent you without having some money there.
Gotcha.
Because then it becomes pro bono. And the attorneys are going to be expected to represent you for free. And that's not what the benefit is for.
Okay.
It's more of a preventative.
Like a retaining. Yeah, like a retaining fee.
Everything we do can save people so much money. Because when you deal with a speeding ticket, right off the break, you're getting 30 letters from every attorney in your area.
Right.
Reminding you that,
hey, we know you got a speeding ticket.
Exactly.
Oh, God, I hate those.
Right? So now you don't have to worry about those anymore. When they come, that's fine. Just throw them in the garbage, shred them. But now it's a matter of like, I already spoke to my attorney. They're going to be in court with or for me.
Okay.
So that's a big difference.
Yeah, I love that.
And
one thing I wanted to talk about, though, with you is because, like, I personally, with me, and I'm going to tell you what my initial fear was, guys. So when we talk about wills, right, I'm already thinking, like, oh, my God, that's going to cost me a lot of money. Right? Ooh. And typically, I'm going to be honest, as a consumer, that part can be a little intimidating, right? So it's like, yeah, I know I want to do this. I know, because think about it. You're paying a life insurance fee,
that's right,
whatever that is for you. Obviously, sometimes if you're younger, you're getting a decent amount. But if you're not, it doesn't matter, right? Right. So, but you're paying a monthly thing, right? And that could be killing you or whatever. You might think that's a lot, right? And then now you have this other additional fee. Honestly, when that was like my only hesitation initially, I was like, dang, I know I want this, but am I going to be able to afford a will? Guys, you can afford a will.
Right. You can't afford not to have one.
You can't afford not to have one, but when I tell you you can afford it, it was extremely affordable. I was honestly taken back by the price. I was like, oh, that's it? I've been wasting time, like, not paying this amount. But it's definitely something that you want to consider adding to your, like, a lot of people don't have wills. It's definitely some things in there that I want, made stated. Because, like, you guys, wills help people with decisions. Like, that's just the bottom line. Like, for instance, God forbid you're in a hospital. If you don't want to be resuscitated, that needs to be stated in your will. I know these kind of things are hard, but especially as a community, a minority community, it's something that I have a passion on talking about because we have to face reality and we have to stop leaving our families with hard decisions that we really have time to prevent now. We don't know the day nor the hour, like they say in the house of God. We don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know the day or the hour that anything can happen to us. So as I'm not gonna say I'm a spring chicken, but I'm in my 30s or whatever, and I'm fairly young. I'm telling other younger people or anybody, it doesn't matter what age you are, you absolutely can afford a will. It's literally like going to Forever 21 and buying your favorite outfit. Buying your Friday night outfit. And we do that like at least 3-4 times a month. Right. So, you know what I'm saying? So, guys, it's something that's super important to have. Like I said, I definitely appreciate your knowledge, you taking time to explain these things to me. Can you tell our listeners where they can find you, like how they can talk to you about the services that you offer?
Absolutely. I can be reached easily just by email at Eileen@willsandmore.com. And that's EILEEN @willsandmore.com. Or you can text me at 908-209-7498. But I did want to touch on something that you just mentioned, though. What you were saying about, just making those other decisions and then what the cost is. The situation is this. Where else are you going to be able to get those documents done? I work with attorneys that, outside of my Wills and More business, $600 for one will.
Yeah.
$600 just for the will, not for the living will, not for the medical power of attorney, not for the durable power of attorney. Right? And in New Jersey, there's two different ones. So the power of attorney makes it easier for people to make the decisions while you're here.
Right.
So when you look at COVID, almost 800,000 people died as a result of COVID. Almost 600,000 of them didn't have a love letter in place. And I call wills a love letter, will package.
I love that.
Right? Because you're telling folks that you love them enough to let them know what you want to have happen.
You better go. That's a cute. That's not cute.
Love letter.
But I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. That's a positive way to look at it. Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, you don't want to be sitting there and having other people make those decisions. So going back to the stats, right? Almost 800,000 people died. Almost 600,000 didn't have anything in place. No love letter so that they knew what should happen if they got to the hospital and when they got to the hospital. I was getting calls from people on the way to the hospital. Hey, Eileen, can you still do that medical power of attorney? I said, where are you? On the way to the hospital. And how am I supposed to do that? Because as soon as you get to the hospital, you just got to leave mom, dad, auntie, uncle, sister, brother at the door. They're not letting you behind the threshold. So I had to let them know there's nothing
Especially
I can
these
do.
Times, yeah.
So now if there's something you could do right now, something you could do for as little as $30 a month or $360 and have those documents in place to have that peace of mind. If you have minor children, the children that were left behind as a result of COVID, a lot of them are wards of the state. They are in foster care. They are in orphanages. They've just got left behind. And it shouldn't have happened that way.
Yeah.
With our will, you get to pick who do you want to raise your children. It's called a minor's trust, folks. And we include that in the will. So then you get to pick who do you want to raise your children. And it's good your brother is the bomb.com because your kids just love him and that works out well. But that's not always the case.
No.
So you want to make sure it's the right person.
Right.
When we had to come to grips with the situation, oh my gosh, my daughter's going to be 32, so this was about 18 years ago? About 18 years ago. And we were coming back from a trip and we realized that if something happened to us, that the only person in New Jersey was the person I am on taking care of my child. So I didn't even unpack. Amber, I pulled that form out. I filled it out for myself, filled it out for my husband, said, sign right here. I signed mine, and that was the first will.
Yeah, good.
Since then, we have revised our will no less than 10, 12 times.
Yeah,
and it costs
that's
nothing.
beautiful, right? And that's the beautiful
Nothing.
thing, like, because things can change. Like I was married at a point. I'm not married anymore. So
Right.
things in life do change and do happen. But like you said, I love that you coined it a love letter.
Yes.
I think that's extremely important to make sure that people can say, like, okay, listen, this is what I need. This is what I want, like, and honoring people's wishes and assigning them to you.
Yes.
That's amazing.
It's so important because you think about it. I love birthday parties, right? I think I have one surprise birthday party in my entire life. And it really did surprise me. It caught me way off guard. They did 39 instead of 40. Caught me off guard. It's okay. They got me once. They won't get me again. So I plan my own parties, right? Because I know what I want, right? And when I go on vacation,
right.
I plan where I'm going. When I go to dinner, I don't let anybody else order for me. So why are you going to leave the most important decisions about whether you want to be resuscitated, whether you want to be plugged in, who you want to have your house?
Do you think it's important to let at least one person in life know that you have this stuff established? Because where do they find it? Like, if something happens.
Excellent question. So the next thing after your medical power of attorney, financial power of attorney, what you need to do, you're going to pick an executor or an executrix or administrator. That's the person that's going to be entrusted to make sure that your assets go where you wished for them to go.
Okay.
And it seems like such a difficult thing, but it's not. For me, you saw how easy it was when we did yours.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Was there any pain involved?
Just
Did you start pulling out your hair?
me going crazy with my own schedule, but the whole process.
But once we did it, it was just like,
Yeah, it wasn't
that's
bad.
all it was?
Can you tell the listeners, this is our last thing, but can you tell the listeners, like, on average, how much is it costing them, like, to have a will? This is something, like, again, that I want you guys to know, because I'm telling you from experience, it's an amazing service. It's something that you definitely want to make sure that you have in place and that you're setting up. But some people, like I said, going back, may have hesitation because of their thinking financial. On average, how much is a will costing?
The will is included in the Wills and More pricing, and that's $29.95 a month or $360. And what that's costing you is just that. But you're getting a will package that would have cost you $600 just for one will. You're getting the will, the living will, the medical power of attorney, and financial power of attorney for you, your significant other, and your children over the age of 18, all in that one fact, right? In addition to that, you have the speeding tickets. You have the contract and document review. And in addition to that, you have 24-hour day access to an attorney if there's ever an emergency situation. You know, you look back
Very
at the
affordable,
different
guys.
situations
Extremely
that
affordable.
go on, you know, that driving in certain situations can cause death in certain situations, you know. End of the month could be that quota. You got officers sometimes have to make sure they have X amount of tickets written.
Yeah.
You know, so I love sharing a story of one of my teammates that used that actual app and had an attorney on the phone when the officer got to his window. Remember I shared that story with you. Is it okay if I share it now?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, great. One of my colleagues lives in Atlanta, Georgia. Nice young man, 29-year-old. And he was coming home Thanksgiving last year. So the cop come up behind him. He said, I'm not doing anything wrong. Let me just touch my app. So he touched the app and said, hey, I'm about to get pulled over and do anything wrong. Can I have an attorney on the phone? By the time the officer sauntered up to his window, he had no attorney on the phone. So he rolled down the window and he said, good evening, officer. Happy Thanksgiving. My attorney would like to know why you pulled me over. The officer got real surly with him, downright salty. Downright salty with him. Said, boy, you know you ain't got no lawyer. What you talking about, boy? Attorney took offense to that and said, I am an attorney. I am on speaker, and I am recording this. So please, officer, tell me why you pulled him over. Was he swerving? Officer said no. Was he speeding? Officer said no again. Did he have his cell phone in his hand? Officer once again said no. The attorney told him, you had no legal right to pull this young man over. You need to let him go. Officer tapped on the window, said, have a good night.
Wow, yeah.
You know, so what
And
I
so many
know-
people need that.
It
Seriously,
can save
yeah.
lives. A young man in Minnesota might still be alive, but for the fact he didn't have that app. George Floyd, I mean, just countless people. And it's not just a
Yeah.
race thing.
Yeah.
It's if you have kids at home. Diapers can come in. It's better to have somebody on speaker
Yeah.
to hear what's going on.
Because you have rights at the end of the
Exactly,
day.
but if you
yeah.
don't know your rights, you don't have
Absolutely.
any. You know, so if you don't have them, or money like Jay-Z, you don't have any.
Oh, listen. I
99
need some
problems.
Jay-Z money, though. But yes,
yeah.
it's been such a pleasure having you. I thank you so much for being so informative, as always.
Thank you.
The passion in what you do clearly shows. I love that. I love, again, guys, if you're looking for someone who's extremely patient, very knowledgeable, who's going to explain this process to you very well, take their time with you, make sure that you are getting the maximum benefits out of what it is that you're paying for. Again, my personal recommendation, please sign up, because like I said, don't allow like those big words like wills and, you know, like those heavy responsibilities to make you feel like you can't afford it or you can't do it. It's extremely affordable. Like I said, Eileen comes highly recommended. I'm so glad that we've encountered
Yes,
each other.
thank you.
I wish the best for Wills and More, because I see where it's going. I thank you for extending your services and especially like changing the narrative within the community.
Thank you.
So,
It's important
so
to me to
I
do
thank
that.
you so much. Well, guys, that is all. We had Wills and More.
Thanks, Amber.